Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to be playing the Pathfinder adventure card game. I'm going to play solo, but I'm going to play as two different characters so that their abilities can kind of work together and see how that goes. And I've already played a couple of things with these guys, so I'm going to be playing the third scenario in the scenario B, which is Black Fang's Dungeon. And the flavor text here is something the local farmers have taken to calling Black Fang has been killing the livestock around Sandpoint. Those who have tracked the beast to its lair found a cave connecting to a mysterious ancient ruin. Delve into Black Fang's lair and end the evils there before they threaten Sandpoint. So we're going to be doing this scenario, and this is during the scenario when any character encounters an ancient skeleton henchman, each other character at that location must summon and encounter an ancient skeleton henchman. So there's a whole bunch of undead skeletons running around trying to attack everybody. So I'm going to draw the starting hands. I'm playing with Lim, the male halfling bard, and Velros, the male human fighter. So I have a halfling and a human. And I'll draw the starting hands for these guys. So Valrosa's starting hand is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And his favorite item is a weapon. So let me make sure there's a weapon in there. Yep, long sword. And then Lem gets to choose what his favorite item is. And I'm going to choose a weapon for him as well. So that way he can actually have something to start with. And he starts with 6 cards. 6 cards, and see if his weapon's in there. Yep. Deathbane, crossbow. Which should hopefully do good against some skeletons. And so we'll figure out which location they're going to go to. So we have the throne room, the shrine, the temple, and the desecrated vault. I think we'll both start on the throne room and try to knock it out. Normally you want to try to be in like separate locations to, if the villain pops up, then you can try to keep him from going to specific locations, so that way you can close out the locations. The point of this game is to find the villain in one of these locations, which is going to be Black Fang. So we're searching for Black Fang through all these different locations. And if we find him, if we can have all the other locations closed, then we win the game. So basically we're trying to close out these locations and then find Black Fang. If we find Black Fang and don't close the locations, then he's going to move to one of the other ones. So let's start with Valros here. And we'll draw the first card and see what happens. This says at the start of your turn, you can recharge an item to draw a card. I don't actually have any items, so we're just going to draw the top card here. And it is a wooden shield. Awesome. I could use shields. Let's see. Constitution Fortitude check. And it's a 4, so that's not that hard to do. My Constitution is a D8. I think I'll just roll for it. I can recharge it to reduce combat damage. Yeah, we'll just roll and see what happens. Pretty much a 50-50 shot here for this. Ugh. 4. Awesome. So he gains the wooden shield. I forgot to flip over my blessing. For the start of the game, let me get that set up there. Blessing of the Gods, great. So I could discard a blessing to explore my location again. I'm going to have to discard a card anyway because my hand size is only 4. So I think I'll go ahead and discard a Blessing of the Gods to explore this location again. And we get Potion of Healing, Intelligence Craft check, 5. I do not know that this guy's going to make that. Intelligence is a D6. Let's see if Lim wants to recharge any cards to help him out here. He'll recharge Sanctuary, which is a spell that he doesn't really care about that much, and get an extra d4. So Valros can roll 2 dice to try to get this potion of healing. Awesome, a 6 and a 3, so way too much. But that's fine. And the potion of healing is now in his hand. So I'll have to discard something anyway. It's a two-handed weapon. Longsword does not say it's two-handed, so I don't think it is, so I could use that with a shield. Which card do I want to discard? I'm going to go ahead and discard the wooden shield that I got and keep that potion of healing to heal us up. Alright, so Lim's turn. Discard the next blessing. Blessing of Warm. So the blessing deck here has 30 cards in it, and if it runs all the way out, then we basically failed to complete the quest in time. So we're trying to make sure stuff happens. This Blessing of Glorm is one that works with strength-based combat checks, which is not going to do very good for Lim because he's all dexterity. And he finds a potion of healing. Wow. Let's see if he can do anything about that. His intelligence craft is a d6, and he has knowledge on that. He's just going to roll the d6 and see what happens. 3 is not enough, so the potion of healing goes away. Aww. And all the items are disappearing. Alright, so he has 5 cards. He's going to draw up one more, and he doesn't want to use up any of his other stuff. So his turn ends, and it's back to Valros. And Blessing, that one is non-combat wisdom checks. And we're going to see what card he encounters. Find traps. That's awesome. That's really good for barriers. Lim wouldn't mind that, but I don't think this guy's Divine Wisdom. He gets a d4, so it's impossible for him to be able to get it. I don't know that it's worth wasting anything on to try to get that. So I'll roll a d4, and I get a 2, and the spell goes away. Oh well. Do I want to pursue further? I think Valros is just going to wait, and it'll be back to Lim's turn. And the Blessing of the Gods, let's see the blessing here. This one is, it adds 2 dice to recharge cards. So if there's a recharge check, then that blessing will help with that. And for Lim's card, Ancient Skeleton. So whenever an Ancient Skeleton comes out, another Ancient Skeleton has to encounter the other character there. That's the problem with being in the same place. But it's all good. So this is a undead skeleton. So I guess Lim will have to fight his first. It is immune to mental and poison traits. If you check to defeat the skeleton, has a slashing or piercing trait. The difficulty to defeat the skeleton is increased by 3. Ooh. Yeah, the weapon I'm going to use on this guy is piercing. But it's also a deathbane crossbow, so it adds an extra d8, which is really good. So my dexterity die is a d8, and the deathbane crossbow adds a d8, and I get to add another d8 because he's undead with the deathbane crossbow. But the difficulty is also going to be increased by 3 because this is a piercing. So I guess bows and arrows do not work very well against these skeletons. And if I defeat him, I can immediately attempt to close the location. Okie doke, so I reveal the Deathbane crossbow to be able to roll these dice. I get an extra d4 because whenever there's another combat check in this location, he gives a d4 to that person. So let's see if I can get 8. All right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll be enough to defeat the skeleton henchman, and I can immediately try to close this location. So I can do my charisma or diplomacy. My charisma is a d10, so I think I'll do that. And I have to get a 6. I'm going to use a Blessing of the Gods just to make sure that I can get that, so I'll add another d10 to that. Just because whenever you're closing locations, you want to make sure it actually happens. You don't want to have to go. If you don't close a location while the henchmen are here, you have to go through this entire deck, and that really stinks. Alright. 6, 7, 8, 9. This location is closed. And when permanently closed, there's no effect. Alright, so Valeros still has to fight off his skeleton. And he is going to reveal this longsword to add to his melee die. So his melee die is 1d10, and then plus a d8, and then he gets plus 3 on top of that. That should be plenty enough to fight the skeleton, I would think, or at least hope. So let's see if this happens. This has a slashing trait. If it has a slashing or piercing trait, the difficulty is increased by 3. So that kind of nullifies his other 3. Maybe Lim can recharge a card. Once per check, you may recharge a card. So, checking combat, he's going to try to recharge a card. He's going to recharge this strength spell to add another d4 to Velaros's check. Teamwork! And we have to get 8, 9, 10, 11. So, 10, 11 exactly. Ooh, that's scary. But that's what we needed, so he is defeated as well. Awesome. So that's the end of Lim's turn, so he gets to draw back up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the blessings of the gods. And we're back to Velaros's turn. So this blessing adds 2 dice to charisma checks. And where do we want to go? That needs a divine or banishing a blessing, and there's a lot of stuff that deals you damage if you get blessings coming up, which stinks, and it can't be reduced. You probably want to get it out of the way. Yeah, we're going to go here. Alright, and Black Fang is exactly what we don't want to see. Normally when these guys appear, the other characters, if they're at locations, they can try to close those locations, but they're not there. Actually, this isn't that bad. I mean, it'll suck because I won't be able to kill him, but at least I'm not going to have to worry about any of that damage for drawing blessings. So Black Fang, he's on his own for this one. Before an encounter, Each character at this location must succeed in a Constitution or Fortitude check 7 or be dealt 1d4 minus 1 acid damage. Ooh, that stinks. So damage before combat is never good, especially when this guy doesn't have very many cards. So let's see. Fortitude, Constitution, Fortitude. He gets a D8 on that, and he needs a 7. I don't really want to have to discard these cards, but I also don't want to use these. And I have a bunch of healing right now, so we'll play Blessing of the Gods here. We'll add another D8. So I'm looking to get a 7 because I do not have any pluses on that. 5, 6. So I'm still screwed on the damage. So if I roll a 1, I won't take any damage. A 4! Yay! 3 damage! I have to keep the sword. So I'll keep this longsword, and I'll get rid of Blessing of the Gods, Chainmail, and Potion of Healing, which is not good times. Okay, attacking this guy with the sword. He normally gets a D10, right? Plus 3, and then a D8 for the sword. Lim isn't in the same location, but he's going to... It's not a... Yes, it is a monster. So we're going to use this Blessing of Lamshu, which adds 2 dice to defeat a monster, and Black Fang is a monster type, so that will add 2 more D10s, which may be overkill, but you know, we want to make sure it happens. I got to get a 12, and this is plus 3 on these dice. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think that should be enough. And he is killed, which means I can immediately close this. But I also, on closing, you may banish a blessing to draw a random blessing from the box. He has no blessings because he had to discard all his cards. But I do have to mix him in with a blessing into one of these other stacks. There's the blessing, and there's him. So it stinks when you find the villain early. I mean, it's kind of good because it lets you close some of these quickly. But do you guys at home know which one the villain is? Because I sure don't. But yeah, it just adds more cards to these decks, and also makes it so that you can fight the henchman and close it, and then the villain gets stuck there and stuff. We're probably going to split up just that, so that way we can end the game really quickly if we find Black Fang again. That one closes automatically. That one's Wisdom or Divine, so Lim's probably going to have to go over there. There's tons of monsters over there. There's no monsters over here. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do. Okay. Alright. So that was Valorous' turn. He can't do any more, so he's got to draw up to his hand size. So he draws 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3. I see Long Spear. +1 with the cold trait. Seems awesome. All these cool cards. They'll let you explore the location more times. I think we're doing good on closing the the locations, though, pretty quickly. So now it is Lem's turn. Blessing card. Great. Now that one comes up. That's the one that adds extra. So if the blessing here matches your blessing that you've played, when you play it, you get to recharge it instead of actually just discarding it. So it's really good because it basically, your deck is your hit points, so it helps you keep your hit points up. So, and you get to play the same card over and over again. Blessing of the Gods, you can't copy the bottom part of it. So this copies any of the ones that are up there, but you can't copy the other ones. That might be good if I can use Blessing of the Gods for combat. Alright, Lem is going to move. He's not going to be able to do the Wisdom Divine, is he? Not at all. We'll go here, even though I really don't want to. Lots of monsters are going to screw me over. I'm going to play the Staff of Minor Healing. Recharge this card. Choose a character at your location, which is going to be me. Recharge a random card from your discard pile. And that card. So it heals you a teeny bit when you do it. That one. Blessing of the Gods. On the bottom of the deck. So whenever you recharge something, it goes to the bottom, which is really cool. Alright, let's see what we find. Hopefully nothing too terrible. I'm not trying to rush through this. Ah, a Goblin Cutpurse. Before the encounter, succeed at a Wisdom or Perception 6, or bury one random card from your hand. Random. Random. Ooh. Yeah, if he gets rid of my one weapon, that's really not good for me. So Wisdom is a D6 with no perception. And I have to get a 6. Do we have anything? I'm thinking about using my Blessing of the Gods here, just because I really don't want to do a random item. But if I use my Blessing of the Gods and I fail, then it's a 50% chance of me losing my weapon. Ooh, we don't have anything to help out over here. Where's my dexterity? To your perception check. Night's Watch would have been able to help him out. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do Blessing of the Gods. I really don't want to have to do this, so we'll figure out if we can make it happen. So 2d6, the average is 7. I probably shouldn't say things like that right before I roll the dice, because then bad things might happen. I need good rolls. 6, exactly what I needed. Yes! That still sucks a lot. Alright, crossbow. A d8 plus a d8 plus 1. And I need an 8. I should hopefully be able to do this. I have pretty much run out of cards. So if I just fail this, I'm going to be hurting. So I need an 8. Well, that means I discard all of my cards because I rolled double 1s on 2 8s, so that's a 3 altogether with my plus. Which means I discard all my cards. And my one weapon is gone. Okay. And this guy beat me, so I'm pretty sure he gets shuffled back into the deck. Which is a ton of fun. Now my only hope is to find another weapon. Are there any weapons at this location? No. I need to find another weapon. And and then discard it to get my good weapon back. Alright, draw back up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, looking very grim here. Or I could do some cure on me, which is definitely going to be what I'm going to do. And go super slow through this location. I probably need to get out of this location because there's too many monsters here. With no weapons, it's going to be terrible. Okay. Balros, your turn. Let's go to the temple. Let's go to the temple. We might just have to double team the temple. It's not like we're rushing for time or anything anyway. And we'll explore the location. Blessing of Yggdrasil. Forgot to do this. Not that it mattered. Blessing of the gods. Alright, so dexterity or divine. Dexterity is a d8. He doesn't have any divine, so he's going to do a d8. I need a 4 or higher to get this blessing, which would be cool. Cool, I got a blessing. I might immediately discard it. I'm gonna discard the Troubadour to explore my location. Wow. Ooh, Bastard Sword +1. This would be amazing for this guy. Strength melee 9. So my strength melee is a d10 +3. Man. I really want that card. Because it adds another d10. That's better than either of the other weapons in my hand. I'm going to use the blessing I just got to add another die so I can get a d10, because I need that for this character. Sometimes you have to invest in the future. So rolling the dice, I get +3 of these dice. That is more than enough. So 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 and all I needed was 9. I will add that to my hand. And I think that will end my turn at this point. Yeah. Tons of weapons in the hand now, which is fun. Alright, Lim is going to move over to here. He's going to use Cure on himself. Reveal this card and choose a character at your location. Me. Shuffle 1d4 +1 random cards from the discard pile. Back into the deck. That's awesome, so it actually shuffles the cards, so my weapon might be able to get up to the top if I actually pull my weapon out of there. Okay, come on, 4. 1, of course, so I get to shuffle 2 random cards. Come on, Deathbane Crossbow. 1, 2. They get shuffled into the deck from the discard pile, and then discard this card. I can try to recharge it, which I will do. Did we get the Deathbane Crossbow in there? Of course not. Actually, I don't know if I want to recharge it. It's a Divine 8 anyway. It's pretty hard to do. Divine +1. Actually, it's pretty easy to do. But at the start of my turn, I can get that right back out of my deck. I don't even really want to recharge it. I'm going to discard this. Forgot to draw this again. This one is good with non-combat charisma checks. Alright, I will draw a card. Please I'll be the dragon. Alright. I can do... Is my divine charisma? Awesome. I need a 5 on this, and I have a d10 +1. 8. Awesome, I get a blessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am not trying to keep on going with this guy, because he does not have a weapon to fight anybody. And when he uses his strength, it is not going to be a good time. All right, Velros, Blessing of Shaven. Wisdom check. So 2 extra dice for the wisdom checks. And we are going to explore. Ancient skeleton. Gross. So Lim is going to have to fight a skeleton. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. Ah. When a character encounters an ancient skeleton henchman, each other character at that location must summon and encounter an ancient skeleton henchman. This is not good. It's not good. At least I can do arcane armor if I need to. Okay. Alright, we'll just do Velros first. And we are going to use a slashing type, so he's going to get an extra 3, which stinks. But we have all these other weapons that I don't really care about. I should be playing more weapons. I'm going to discard this to add a D6, so I have a D10 plus a D10 plus a D6 plus 3, and then it's minus 3 because the difficulty is increased by 3. So basically I just need to get an 8 on those dice. Alright, so instead of discarding this, I can recharge it because that's one of my abilities, which is awesome. And we'll try to get an 8 on these dice. Ugh. Awesome. 2 4s and a 6. More than enough. 14. So this guy is gone. And then Lem, I pineth for you. I should have traded him an item. I think I can trade at a certain point. I don't know if it's at the end of my turn or the beginning of my turn or something. If I give him a weapon, then Lim can do whatever. I'll look and see what that is. Lim is going to have a D4 for his strength for this combat. So at least he doesn't get the extra plus 3 because his strength sucks. He gets an extra D4 because of that. I really don't want to have to discard tons of cards. We'll discard this blessing to get another D4. And maybe we can get an 8 on these D4s. I doubt it. But hey, at least I can try, and hopefully it doesn't make me discard my entire hand. Ugh. 8 exactly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I defeated the ancient skeleton. Alright, so this location closes automatically. So when you close a location that might have the enemy in it, then you have to go through and check and make sure he's not there, which he is. It's on the very bottom of that too. Alright, we'll clean these up later. That was terrifying. So Black Fang is there. If we want to encounter him there, we can. But the location does not close. So Velros may encounter him there. later on. And trading items, I'm not sure when you can exactly do that. Done. Tempting checks. Searching. Summoning and adding cards. Closing the location. Give a card. You may give a card from your hand to another character at your location. Other characters cannot give you cards on your turn. So on my turn, the following steps in order. So I should have given a card before I did the encounters and stuff. That's slightly frustrating, because I didn't think about that at the time. Oh well, it is what it is, so I will draw back up with Belrose. I'm not going to explore the location again, because that would be stupid. And Lem is going to have to move out of here. He can just try to do the healing again. So at the start of my turn, I will exchange a card from my hand for another card of the same type from my discard pile. So I'll get Cure out of my discard pile. I will play Cure and heal 1d4 random cards, another 1. Plus 1, so that's 2 cards. Well, at least I'm healing up. One, 2, and these get shuffled into my deck. There's only 3 cards left, so a little bit worse than 50% chance of actually getting the crossbow in there. Okay, and the crossbow is in my deck somewhere, which is awesome. Now I need to try to get rid of these cards so I can find it. Alright, and I am going to try to recharge this Cure this time. I need to get a Divine 8. So a D10 plus 1. 7. It gets discarded. Oh well. Well, at least if I find another spell, I can get it. I'm just going to move to here so that maybe we can end the game next turn, as long as he doesn't die. Which I don't think he'll die. And he will have his encounter. This guy again. Well, this time I'm going to play the... Does it really matter? Yes. I'll play the guide to make my... That's a survival check, not a perception check. Oh. Oh, then. Alright. I roll a d6 for my wisdom, and if I fail, I have to bury a random card from my hand. Bury it. I failed. Random card gets buried. I don't have a weapon. It'll be okay. Probably just going to eat all the damage to the face. And I buried my guide, which I was trying to play anyway. Then I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to lose all my cards. So I have 1d4 because I'm using strength. I might as well play this just in case. Whoops. That doesn't help. Might as well just play this just in case there is a miracle and I can roll an 8 on 2 d4s, which is also not going to happen. But hey, maybe I'll roll a 7 and I won't have to discard one of these cards. But I doubt it. Oops. Alright, let's do this. 6. Exactly enough to make me discard both my cards. And this guy gets shuffled back in here again. Lem, you're failing me. Halfling Bard, go back to singing your songs and playing your flute. Just kidding. Hopefully now I can draw my weapon, which I had healed myself back up with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As I end my turn, I am almost dead. Only 2 cards left. Awesome. I didn't draw my weapon out of all that. But we will hopefully end the game next turn, because Valros is about to fight this guy, and I am going to win this Wisdom Divine check to close this other location. Okay. We're going to do this thing. Valorous Explorers. Lim is going to try to do a Divine check 6, so he has a D10 plus 1. We're going to add a Blessing of the Gods to up that. So he'll get another D10 plus 1. I need a 6 to make this happen. Yeah. More than enough. Way more than enough. 8 plus 5 plus 1. Alright. So this is temporarily closed. So whenever you encounter this guy, you can temporarily close the location. So this is closed just for this combat, so he won't be able to escape into this location. So if he wasn't defeated, he would still stay here, and this would open back up, and we'd still have to keep on going. So now, before the encounter, each character at this location must succeed in a Constitution or Fortitude check, or be dealt 1d4 acid damage. So we are going to do Constitution is a d8, and I really don't want that damage. Lim is going to play a Blessing of the Gods for this check to give him another d8. Let's use this one. And yeah. So on 2d8s, he needs to get a 7. It's not very good on odds. It is what it is. And it's a d4 minus 1 if I fit this. Yeah. And I fail, so d4 minus 1. Come on. 1, no damage. Your acid does not faze me, Black Fang. Alright, so commencing with the beatdown for the game. So, Bastard Sword. Heck yeah. So he gets a D10 normally. He gets another D10 because of the Bastard Sword. I'm going to discard the... I can't discard the Icy Long Spear. But I will play Blessing of the Gods to give me another D10. And then we'll play a Blessing of the Gods to get another D10. So I need a 12. I feel like this is always the way this game goes. Everybody just drops all their cards when you're fighting the boss for the last time to uber pull him, because there's no reason to keep the cards. So that's 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 damage to Black Fang to take him out. So that would kill Black Fang, and that's the end of the game. I don't think I gained too many cards. I know I gained this Bastard Sword, which is really awesome. So I'll have to check my decks and get them back to where they're legal, and be sad that Lim's deck, the Deathbane Crossbow, was on the top, and I still wasn't able to get it. Oh well. I was just going to recur Cure again and play a Staff of Minor Healing so he wouldn't die anyway. Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions about the game, let me know. I'm going to try to play through with some more of these characters. It's cool because by winning this, I get a skill feat, so I can up their stats. So in this game, you get to up the stats of the characters as you go along, so it's kind of like very role-playing in that way. So I'm really excited to try to maybe go through the Adventure Pack 1 with it and see how that goes. Anyway, check out the rest of my videos. I've got some other Let's Plays and reviews. Like and subscribe and comment and tell me what you think. Anyway, thanks a lot. Peace, guys.